And we are underway. Sit back and enjoy this one, folks. Queensland Rubies versus South Australia. Here at the Championships of 2021, coming to you today from Moreton Daily Stadium. What an afternoon we've got coming your way for you. Can the Queensland Rugby League come away with a double header of wins here? They've just come up with 44 points to nil over Western Australia. Can their counterparts, the Rubies, come away with the competition victory? As we see now, South Australia, well, they're here to spoil the party. They're not here to just make up the numbers. We know that for a fact. So South Australia now are tackled here right on the 20-metre line. That's Francis. She goes to dummy half. Look at her run. Still going. Oh, she's under the post. Big Francis. Well, what an early scare for the Queensland Rubies. But South Australia, they're here and they're here to play hard and aggressive. Look at this. Over you go. Thank you very much. Well, if you're going to score the try, it's incredible, isn't it? Yes, it is. Big stuff. That is how you do it. Queensland are on fire. I should say 4 points to nil. That is how you do it. That is exactly what you do to get them onto the scoreboard. But this is just an incredible. We might be able to have another look at the replay shortly, but that is just how you do it. Just take a look at this all of a sudden. Charging forward. Bingo. Too easy, too strong. And Queensland, well, we just spoke about, can they come up with the Quinella? Well, they've started this one well, haven't they? 4 points to nil after 2 minutes of this one over South Australia. So we've been on air since 9:30. It's been a big day up here in the commentary box, but boy, not as big as what the girls down here on the sideline have been turning on every minute of those 6 hours. They have absolutely delighted in everything that they've been able to do. So Queensland Rugby League take us to the front by 6 points to nil. We're just adjusting our computer screens up here in the commentary box. As you can imagine, a huge logistical challenge. Over 266 names, as I should say, as we see now the Rubies again. Look at them go. Queensland Rugby League in full fright. They're chasing Smith, but they're not going to get her. How good is that? Well, talk about runaway tries. 80-metre effort. Look at this pace. Oh, what a running style. They were trying to come after her, weren't they? But Ferguson was no match. And Radford Smith goes all the way to score underneath the post. Well, there you go. Don't forget, folks, all the match reports later today on NRL.com.au. Speaking of NRL.com.au, just like to say a big thanks to Alicia Newton. Hasn't she done, and I'm sure you join with me, a tremendous amount of work for the women's game as far as sports journalism goes in Australia. She's right on the money. She's done a superb job putting all the big stories together, the storylines, the narrative, the angles, you name it, to make this day an absolute success for NRL.com. And on behalf of everybody in at the NRL.com office, Alicia, your job doesn't go unnoticed. You do a fantastic job for the Women's Rugby League. So 12 points to nil. The Rubies leading here with 15 minutes remaining in the first half over South Australia. As we see now, South Australians about to come back to the halfway line to get us back underway here as the ball goes inside the 20. Taken on the bounce. The big try scorer on this occasion, bringing it back and setting her path there into Ralston. As Queensland now look to rock their way forward through the middle and trying to take advantage there of big Vahu. Just couldn't quite rumble right through the middle. She was stopped right at the last moment there by the captain of South Australia in Claire Ferguson. Now look with the Maharendra Raja straight inside the 20. She's always hard to bring down, isn't she? And especially here in the championships. They burrow from dummy half. And Northey has got there for the Queensland Rubies. Well, she just put the foot to the metal and focused in on what was required of her, and this is what was required to get down low and go, 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 and she did exactly that, and she was no match for Isabella Carroll. Testament to Carroll from desperately trying to prevent the try, but just wasn't going to happen right there. Looking at her mission on hand. That's what she's faced with here. Pumping music around the ground. Great atmosphere. The bands are in. The music's playing. And don't forget, folks, if you're watching our coverage from the ground, make sure you hashtag the National Championships on Instagram and hashtag NRL.com as well. This is where we are, home of the Harvey Norman NRL Women's Championships. So don't forget, folks, we've got one more game coming your way at 3 o'clock, which will be our 9th game on the card. We'll see New South Wales Rugby League Country go around against our friends from the Northern Territory in our final 40 minutes of rugby league here today on which has been a terrific day, a terrific festival atmosphere, and the championships are back with an absolute bang. Day one coming to an end very shortly, but let everybody know we're going to be here all day tomorrow from 9:30 right through till about 3:45, and then on Saturday we've got the big day of quarterfinals and everything that goes with it. On air again from 9:30 in the morning. So this is your one-stop shop for everything as far as the championships go. Yes, day 3, of course. We've got the Open Women's. We'll have the few extra games as well in the pools. We'll also get to see the Queensland Sapphires go around and South Australia. And then, of course, we lead into grand final day on Sunday the 23rd of May. We'll have 4 big games on this arena. We'll have the under-19s and the national finals. Also the open age national final. Well, that's the first one that we'll see get underway at midday. As we see a bust again made by Queensland straight through the middle corridor. Look out, here comes Big Cook. Oh, what a great tackle. What a try-saving tackle there on Cook. Well, she just came from the clouds as Maple tries to go for a dig. Comes away from Northey. Dishing it up now for Zaitia. And she gets her name up in lights for Queensland. Well, it's a dominant one-way streak here in the first half. And it all started from here. Take a look. It's Otia. Look at this big charge. Over she goes. That's as good as it gets from close range. And Queensland, well, they had an absolute field day in our last match, didn't they? The Queensland Rugby League Sapphires absolutely put the foot down against Western Australia. What was it, 44 points to nil for the Sapphires, and the way this is going, this could well end up in the same area as points go. A long way to go in this game though, but isn't it just great to see the talent of tomorrow here before our very own eyes under the revised formats. We've got the addition of the under-19s teams, which is great skill. The future representatives of the NRLW teams. And just looking down here on the concourse, we're up here on the tin roof, but just looking around, yeah, I won't name the selectors because they may not want to be identified, but there's one over there, there's about 4 I can see, so that's great, isn't it? It is. So everyone's taking this competition by its merit, and so it should, thanks to our great friends at Harvey Norman.
We've just had a lost phone reported. Well, it's been found, so if you've lost a phone, it'll be up at the comms box.
So we're back underway for the final 8 minutes of the first half of this 8-game card so far, and here they go again. Lolly offloads the pass at will, and Makayo offloads it as well. Speak about the circus. It's alive here at the National Championships. Oh, what a try! Fisher, what a stunner! They've gone bang, bang, and the Rubies, they're setting alight the Harvey Norman National Championships. And it all started from here. Look at this run. They were only in second gear. Then all of a sudden, support was looming. Big Tisha, come and get me. They did, but they didn't stop the ball carrier. And then from there, it was just a matter of putting it through the hands. And all of a sudden, Fisher under the sticks. Superb. Oh, we like that, don't we? Oh, yes, the thumbs are up from around the ground. Oh, the Queensland Rugby League having an absolute field day with both of their sides. Going from strength to strength. And credit also to what the Queensland Rugby League are doing behind the scenes with content and Entrust Super Premiership. Leading the way. Here's the kick in front. It's a beauty. Straight over the black dot. Another successful conversion. Well, this scoreboard just keeps going up, doesn't it, folks? Queensland Rugby League Rubies leading now by a margin of 26 points to nil over South Australia. And don't forget the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership of New South Wales. The New South Wales Rugby League have just had all their junior representative grand finals at Leichhardt Oval over the last 4 weeks. And congratulations to all the premiers in that competition. So great stuff by NRL.com as well, not just giving you all the games here in the Harvey Norman National Championships, but oh, this is solid, isn't it? Don't argue with this. Just on the halfway line, NRL.com giving you everything that you need to know in the game of rugby league. It all started back in February when we live streamed all the NRL trial games from across the states. Unheard of, going back only 3 or 4 years ago, to be able to live stream NRL trials. But of course, we've got the live streams continuing over the next little while as well. Only a couple of metres away from the line. They're trying to get there, but not on this occasion. They've just come up a little bit short on this occasion, just short of the in-goal area. But yeah, live streaming, as we all know by now, it's just ingrained in our culture here in rugby league. All the states and territories warming to it. Everyone getting behind it. It's not cheap, but it gives back tremendous dividends to the fans and sponsors Big ratings coming through for Queensland Rugby League, with the Entrust Super Premiership now being taken live on KO Sports, as well as the 9 Now app and everything else in between. New South Wales Rugby League TV, their numbers are quite well at the moment, trying to promote their own internal programs, and not just at the top level as well. I mean, you talk about group levels of rugby league, they're all live streaming and just bringing communities together. That's what it all does, bringing communities of rugby league together. Doesn't matter where you're watching around the world, you're watching vision like this, which was unheard of 6 years ago. This is great stuff. They're on Hiriaki. There goes the kick downfield. Taken nicely. Looking for space again, aren't they? The ball just dribbling out the back door. And there's the tackler over the top. Just a couple of metres short of the 40-metre line. Looking for space again, aren't they? The defence, as you can see, converging. So there's a couple of more left up their sleeve in this set of 6. Pressing towards the line at will. Oh, too easy in the end. Individual brilliance coming from the Rubies. As we go to the nrl.com.au replay. The foot to the medal. And Maple. She's a class act, isn't she? And the pumping music around the ground is turning them inside out. And didn't she do that? And that is her favourite song, I'm led to believe too. So that's a great initiative too. All the try scorers today gave a selection of songs to the Mr. Music, who presses the buttons. And Don't Stop Me Now, well, that is quite pivotal. She was not going to be stopped. And it looks like the Queensland Rugby League Rubies, they are not going to be stopped anytime soon, anytime in this tournament. Setting up to be a terrific 4-day festival. As we see now, Queenslanders Cook about to take matters into her own hands with this conversion. Taking it back towards the 30-metre line here, hasn't she? She hits it with the left boot. Looks okay. It's a ripper. Never looked like missing, and it was quite a nice catch from the little boy who's donating his time today. And speaking of donating time, where would we be, folks, without our volunteers who donate a tremendous amount of time to our great game of rugby league? Doesn't matter whether, if it's in Western Australia, South, everywhere across Australia, New Zealand, everywhere across the world for that matter. Rugby league on game day pretty much doesn't exist at community level without the tremendous community support that gives back to rugby league. So inside the last 1 minute of the match in the first half of football, 32 points has come the way to Queensland. And Saiatia now hits it up. Dishes it back away now to Nolan. She in turn sends it away to Jataya. So that's the halfway line as they again look to right inside, and they look to bust them again, aren't they? This was Witchman. Quick go forward. She wants it. She's got it. Now they're lining up at will out here on the right flank. They go for the line. Can they get there? Yes, they can. Clarissa Bira goes in the corner for Queensland. And they're up by another 4 points. And here it is, how it unfolded, thanks to Harvey Norman. Look at that beautiful regain of the ball. Well, she had it on a plate. Fingertip control, and she's just done it all the way. It's sensational stuff. They say you create your own luck, but you've got to have the skills to pull it off. Didn't she have the skills there to pull it in and get over the line? So there goes the siren in the background. It's half time. So we just stand by for the conversion now from right out there on the western touchline. We're calling the game today from the eastern side. So I think this sun's going to pretty much hit us in a few hours' time if we're still here, which I'm sure we will be, because we've got our last game at 3 o'clock. So here's the kick now from right on the touchline. There's the fans, the mums and the dads, the daughters who are playing today, watching themselves up on the big screen around the ground. That's just beautiful to watch. Here's the kick from the sideline, and it's just to the left-hand side of the stick. So it's half-time here, ladies and gentlemen. A big lead to the Queensland Rugby League's Rubies. We'll go to a break with them leading by 36. That's right, 36 points to nil over South Australia. And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen. Our second last game of this afternoon here in the championships, as we see the Queensland Rubies about to dominate once more, are they? In the first stages of the second half, they're looking very impressive, aren't they? They're back out towards the halfway line already. That's Indy Brown with the footy. Look at them go straight through the middle again. This is really impressive. Here's Fisher, and she finishes it off on the end of a terrific set from the get-go of the second half. Well, that all came from, about 40 metres out, I'd say, from their own line. Then all of a sudden, the big in and away. Big Ratfran Smith with the big fend, and then all of a sudden, Fisher, over she goes, and she's absolutely loving it. Gets her first try of the tournament, and that takes the Queensland Rubies out to 40 points to nil. It's just great to see all these tries unfolding here. Well, we've seen some big scores, haven't we, over the last couple of hours in the under-19s. Of course, the Queensland Sapphires went around before this one against Western Australia, got up by 44 points to nil, and that was at full time. Now it's going to be 40 points to nil to the Rubies, and we've still got 18 minutes remaining in this clash. Well, New South Wales Rugby League, City absolutely got up by a terrific margin of more than 30 points as well over Victoria. That was one-way traffic. So what we've seen over the last couple of hours, well, especially since midday, you can't go past the Sapphires, the Rubies and New South Wales Rugby League over their counterparts in Victoria, Western Australia and South Australia. But a long way to go in this tournament. Festival atmosphere as we come back now to the play, and this is Lol going straight through the middle again, expressing herself incredibly with tremendous pace, with those athletic legs that she's got holding her up, that is for sure. Speaking of holding them up, they don't want to go down, do they, on this occasion? That was big. There's April. Lee Nolan now. Good ball. Here comes another one. No. Oh, well, I don't know if we can have a look at that again. But that must have... we were just having a look away from the screen at the moment, but what actually happened there? What actually happened? Well, there's no try. Let's just keep an eye on this. it was Lee Nolan who got that pass away to the right edge. It was just a stroll in the park, but then all of a sudden, Clarissa Byra, she thought that she was going to be over and she just had to put it down, but the ball just didn't quite go over, did it? So it wasn't a try, and the Rubies now come away with it here. 30 metres out from the opposition's goal line. Here's Big Taisha giving it away, and they're getting closer to that 10, aren't they? That was Campbell. Back to Cook. So they're right back on their line, South Australia. Spinning it again to the left. Big numbers. It's just a matter of putting it through the back line, and a try should be forthcoming. Maple out there on the left edge, comes away with it for the Queensland Rubies. Look at that tremendous pass. That was the pass that set it up, and that was the pass that set up the try. To Big Maple. She's happy with her efforts. Well done, Maple. Well done to the Queensland Rugby League Rupees. Putting on a tri-fest here this afternoon. So there's the fans. They know they're up on the screen. Give us a wave. There they are. Listening to our audio stream as well. There they are, the girls over there, no doubt in to support their friends here today. It's beach weather. It's always beach weather up here in Queensland, isn't it? 26 degrees. Right out on the chalk. Kept it low. And just to the left-hand side of the post. So it's the Rubies leading by 44 points to 0 over South Australia. 13 minutes remaining in our second last game here in the pools. Don't forget, tomorrow, folks, we'll be back here, same spot at 9:30 a.m. with 5 games of opens. And our first match tomorrow morning will be featuring our First Nations up against the Australian Defence Force. That's tomorrow morning from 9:30 in the morning on nrl.com.au. Here's Brown. Oh, look at the big hit over the top there. Absolutely. Hit her everything. Big Heraraka. But she just pounces back up. And look at this. Look at this. Bang! Oh, I like that. The fans like that. And I'm sure you at home like that. We take a lot out of our game of rugby league, all for the right reasons going forward. But I'll tell you something. That's here to stay. That's just come and get me. Bang. Oh, we love that. As we just look now for Chelsea Campbell here, just looking around, and as we make a few interchange players are about to come out onto the field.
Okay, cool. I'll just wait for the train to make a bit more way off. I'll hop on this side. I'll let you know when we're right.
Get our game back underway with the water bottles. As I say, it's a very hot afternoon here in Redcliffe. Been hot since the first game this morning with all these spectacular tries. We've seen everything. The big hits, the spills, the thrills, the twists, the turns, everything that rugby league can throw up at you. We've seen it unfold here at the Harvey Norman National Championships. And we're not done and dusted yet, are we? We've still got 12 minutes remaining. More points coming, is it? Plenty of questions to be answered. Oh, yes. There's one of the questions. And April under the sticks. Well done, April. There she is, your try scorer for the Queensland Rubies. Scoring right underneath the black dot here towards the northern end of the new stand. And isn't that looking an absolute picture here in the afternoon? Setting sun. They've spent a lot of money up here. More than 24 million to upgrade the facility. And what an exciting place of rugby league to have this Harvey Norman Women's Championships. It's up here in Moreton Bay, one of Australia's great rugby league heartlands. Just having a chat with the Mayor and a few others from the local area throughout the week. I understand that more than 5,500 local players here in the Moreton Bay region play rugby league. They take to the field each weekend and whenever they can to be a part of the rugby league family. Just doing tremendous things up here. There's 14 junior local clubs as well. And pretty much a lot of those junior local clubs and the volunteers have come together from all clubs to make this tournament as successful one as it can be over the next 4 days. Here they go through the middle, up over the halfway line and beyond, but they've left the carnage behind them, Queensland. Here's Clarissa. Great to hear the crowd getting behind the Queenslanders. Here's Witchman out the back door. Is there another try coming? I think there is. And I'm pretty sure it's gone to the big number 8 in Mahendra Raja. Let's see if we can pick up her number plate here. We're looking into the sun here as it sets, but I'm pretty sure it's her, yes. Never in doubt, was it? The big number 8. The moment she tucked it under her arm, you knew that she was going to get the try. Everybody knew. No. Never in doubt. She loves to get her name up in lights. And why not? A big performance today by Mahendra Raja. Fixture of the BHP Premiership. Part of the Queensland Rugby League. Don't forget, we'll be on air on qrl.com.au on Saturday afternoon from about 12:15 when QRL takes its cameras on the road down to the Gold Coast. Burleigh, looking forward to that one, will come in action. Of course, New South Wales Rugby League with their Monday night coverage as well. So 56 points to nil. It's Queensland Rugby League's day here today in the sun. They've come up with the Quinella, haven't they? In the last 2 games, Sapphires putting it through the Western Australian team by 44-0. And the Rubies giving the South Australians a lesson in rugby league here in Queensland. So the South Australians get us back underway. Just a shallow kick. It's only gone to the 40. But look at this aggressive run straight through the middle. Well, if you're going to go with short kickoffs like that, well, you've got to be awake to what can come off the back end of it. And here's Big Witchman taking it back up over the halfway line again. Here's your try scorer in Mahendra Raja. Takes it down to the 30. Now the referee's just telling them to go back to the 40 there. Now we've got to find a dummy half. There we go. Found one, giving across to Taya. There goes the kick in towards the in-goal area. They're chasing the football. Fisher's coming through. And there was Fisher trying to come away with it, just in case that ball didn't go over the touchline in goal. Let's keep an eye on this on the replay. Beautiful placement of the kick. Just keep a look at this ball rolling and rolling, and unfortunately for South Australia, it ended up going over the touchline in goal. As we come back out now towards the 20-metre line for the South Australians, where they haven't had much attacking opportunity, have they, in this clash? Queenslanders have just been all over him in that department. And South Australia now take our play to the 30-metre line. There's Bridge waiting at dummy half. Here, Racker now. Well, she's brought the fan club all the way from South Australia, coming across on the bus. I'd love a journey across, and I'll tell you what, the biggest roar of the day, certainly. That's just fantastic support from the fans, urging her on. So we're tackled and a scrum will pack down with 56-0 on our NRL.com scoreboard, with just over 5.5 minutes remaining in this clash, as Queensland look to come to the right-hand side. Makayo's been hit hard. Wins another roar from the crowd. Here's Northley now with the third hit up. Back to Cook. Mahendra Raja under the post. Another try for the Queenslanders. Oh, they're putting on a try-scoring session here at Redcliffe this afternoon. As we look at the Harvey Norman replay, again, it was just the big prop bulldozing her way underneath the black dots. To the delight of the Queensland crowd. The pumping music going around the ground. This is one of her favourite songs. Come and Get Me From Anywhere. Haven't quite heard this one, but lives up to the try, doesn't it? That's for sure. So here's the kick now from right in front of the post. Kicking towards our northern end here at the Championships. The ball quite high on that kicking tee as they strike it off the right boot. Looks okay. Straight over the black dot. Never looked like missing. So they've racked up 62 points here, the Rubies, with still 4 minutes remaining in the clash. Don't forget you're watching our coverage thanks to Harvey Norman, live and exclusive on NRL.com.au. So don't forget, folks, tomorrow we're back on air again from 9:30 in the morning. Our first clash tomorrow on day 2 of the Championships. We'll see the First Nations take on the ADF. That's from 9:30 tomorrow morning. And to conclude today's coverage, after day 1 at 3 o'clock today, we'll have New South Wales Rugby League country tackling the Northern Territory as that ball goes into touch, just a couple of metres inside South Australians' half. So it's the biggest score of the Championships unfolding right now between our very own eyes. It's been a try-scoring session for the Queenslanders. And Kolb, she's got to look over the opposing number there in Chapman. South Australia to come up with the 40. Well, they haven't had this much possession at all, have they? We're just looking at the NRL.com.au analyzer here, and it's 20% inside the Queensland half as far as their attacking ability goes, and that pretty much dominates where the Rubies are on the scoreboard by 62 points to 0 as the girls now rocket forward, and this is Chapman. Takes it down towards the 30. Good steady crowd coming in right throughout the afternoon. Of course, the school breaks are out, and a lot of the school kids are in here as well for the last couple of games. Looking at our stars of tomorrow in the National Rugby League women's game and all of the association games in districts across Australia, the BHP Premiership, and of course in New South Wales with the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. And doesn't matter where you live in Australia, make sure if you want to play our great game of rugby league, get in touch with the local associations. They'll be able to hook you up in the right spot. Here's Buck Gig just outside the 10. Comes back away to Chapman. And they've just taken the eye off the football as the Rubies turn defence into attack. As we see now Fisher stretching beyond the 40 and still going up over the halfway line from one end of the field to the other. Back to Barra. She's got support. She won't need support. Another great try to the Queensland Rubies. Well, they've gone coast to coast. 100-metre spectacular runaway try just when nothing was on. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, they've gone bang bang. And as we go to the replay, thanks to Harvey Norman, this is the closing passage of play. Check this out. Incredible stuff. Clarissa Barra. Put your name up in lights. And who was there? Fisher in supporting her for a tremendous game of rugby league for the Rubies. They've just turned it on. That must be up over 8, 9, 10 tries in the first half of football. Incredible stuff here in the championships, pretty much from the get-go. What a tight game the first game was, but it had the big hits in the Northern Territory. Just came home like no matter what you've seen, getting up over South Australia by 6 points to 0. Of course, that was in the Open Women's. So we're into the final stages of this one now, as Zoe Cook now cameras take you right behind the goal kick. The siren's gone in the background. She strikes it nicely. Hasn't got enough oomph. Oh, just underneath the goalpost. So no change to the scoreboard. But congratulations to the QLD Rubies. A big dominant win over South Australia. It's full time. 66 points to 0.